Hey Neta, Ziv, say hello to Neta.
What's up, bro? Oh, he's in. What are we? Oh, you're in it. No, just a video, yeah.
We're in the craziest scene we've been to so far. A missile fell here on a mall, obliterated it. There are 30 dead here. It's crazy what's happening here. There is unimaginable destruction here.
We are in the middle of a battlefield.
So much destruction, so much death. For what?
Transit route from Ukraine to Poland. Hundreds of thousands of refugees are risking their lives, fleeing from the horror of combat. There's much chaos, fierce cold, and volunteers cooking soup in a pot for 1,500 people. We are taking a brief moment and breathing deeply. Tens of thousands of other refugees are desperately trying to secure a place on one of the trains leaving from Lviv westward. Some of the refugees with pets, because in Ukraine they too are part of the family, not abandoned even in war. Despite warnings that the Russian siege on the capital may be completed in days, maybe hours, we are heading east to Kiev on what's said to be one of the last trains in that direction.
Look at this train here.
Block the passage so no one can pass through except this width. Already on the way to the hotel, it was noticeable how the entire city was preparing for battle. Roadblocks, trenches, fortifications, blown-up bridges, and the use of vehicles to block main routes. Minutes after we arrived, an alarm siren pierced the air. 2 missiles hit, one just destroyed an electrical facility. The second one, a residential building. At 5 and 9 minutes today in the morning, a missile fired from the town of Bucha, 20 kilometers from here, was intercepted by the air defense trying to protect Kiev, but it probably didn't disintegrate completely, and part of its warhead fell on this building here behind me in the Avalon district. Part of the building was burned. You can see the extent of the damage. Confused and bewildered, Yelena is looking for her aunt who lives here in this building on the 2nd floor. Even their dog. Her eyes tear for its well-being. Her hands rise higher and higher in a plea for help, begging that someone please return to her the life she had until this morning. From fall to fall, from scene to scene, from a ruined house to a bombed school, from fire to death, we began to understand the enormity of the horror. The Russians are deliberately targeting civilians, these helpless people, to kill some and terrorize the rest. Look, there was a bicycle factory here. What I'm holding in my hand is 1 out of 12 charges sitting inside this cassette, this magazine, which is the warhead of a Tushka missile. Inside each one, within every shell like this, there are shrapnel balls that scatter upon explosion and impact with the ground. It's intended to kill people.
It's terribly, terribly smooth here.
Record this.
It's terrible.
Bullet casings. Explosions are occurring in the area, and just look at that madman over there. Ziv Koren is walking right into the fire. Literally, there's the fire. And Ziv helps. Yes, help him with the hose. Ziv, give him assistance. Mamma mia, look at this. Everything is on fire here.
Look at this psycho. See where he's going. Look at him.
We are at the central cemetery of Kyiv. Since the war, they have stopped burying people here. victims arrive here, usually in commercial vehicles. They open the back door, perform a brief funeral ceremony in the presence of a religious man. The family lays a wreath, the ceremony ends, and the convoy proceeds to the crematorium.
In parallel to the efforts of Putin's forces against Kyiv, Russian tanks are also attempting to complete the encirclement around Chernihiv. We're on the way to Chernihiv. You can see the security guard and the driver, Anton. Anton, say hello to the video. Hello.
And standing right here beside me,
The expedition leader and a wanderer in his own right. This used to be the residence, the home of the owner of this particular farm. Look, only this cute dog remained here. I don't know if he stayed to God or just stayed.
if it has an owner and if they are alive. We are on a farm in a small village not far from Chernihiv. We are on a farm that has been entirely bombed. We see here the craters of the bombs from the Russian Sukhoi aircraft that just came down and wreaked havoc and killed and destroyed this place. People lived here and nothing is left of them. People lived here and nothing remained of them.
We're in Volnovakha, one situation, one scene out of the whole array that tells the whole story. A Ukrainian tank, a pharmacy, a clothing store, and a burnt car. And there a Russian tank all together. The whole way littered with wreckage of various armored vehicles, supply trucks. This is evidence of the terrible battle that happened here only days ago.
A missile hit here just now.
We are behind the soldiers, searching for where it hit.
Half an hour ago, this missile hit here. This missile has an expressive payload. This is a charger that is prohibited by international agreements.
On every road, in each and every street, we see these civilians on whom the war has so suddenly descended, taking immense risks as they go out of their homes, searching desperately for food or medicine.
Ziv, please give a wave and say hello to everyone.
I do not wave a dream in my life.
It seems we will probably not make peace with the Russians anytime soon.
Come on, Tarzan, let's go.
Erfin has been occupied by the Russian army for more than a month, and after a journalist was killed there, the area was closed to communication. We somehow managed to convince someone, and now we are joining the Commando Unit 112, which is also known by some people as George's Force because of the commander's nickname. He is considered one of the best scouts in the Ukrainian army.
We somehow managed to convince someone, and we are joining the Commando Unit 112, which some also call George's Force, in the nickname of the commander, considered one of the best raiders in the Ukrainian army. Ready to shoot. We're in one of the secret bases of the Ukrainian forces. I took this. This is the ammunition. Yes, this is a safe place from bombs. Did you think Putin would invade? Did you ever think something like that would happen? I don't know. Putin and his fighters, Putin's fighters are in my country and I have to fight. Yes, it's that simple. This is my homeland. What is your mission tomorrow morning? What are you going to do tomorrow morning? My mission for tonight is to stay alive, still stay alive.
The Russian artillery is trying to hit with force, sometimes succeeding and sometimes missing by mere chance. At night, a rocket destroyed the house next to where several soldiers were stationed. It's clear to everyone, someone is targeting them. A Russian spy is active in the territory. You can see here the remnants of what once was a family home. In the afternoon, George saves the situation. He spots a drone, follows it, cross-references evidence and directions, and leads the force into a house where the spy is captured. Half an hour before the invasion, he arrived in Irpin with an Israeli passport, rented an apartment, and began broadcasting to operators there. We are currently walking through the streets of Irpin, proceeding from house to house. The force is diligently trying to verify if any infiltrators might still remain in this area. And Russians, spies or soldiers after the main Russian force retreated to the outskirts of Irpin. They say that George has almost magical abilities to sense danger. Indeed, in one of the houses he entered, leading his soldiers, George caught a grenade without a safety pin, hidden under a plank that had to be moved to advance, a relic from the retreating Russian soldiers. If George had not noticed the grenade and had moved the post, the outcome of the visit to that house would have been completely different. We are in the heart of Europe, and silence, a silence that is death. We are in the midst of the bombed and ruined areas, and the debris and smoke.
And the smell, we can't describe the smell, but it stinks here. There's a smell of death.
Everything is ruined. Here is a shopping center in the square in the city. It looks like a surreal dystopian play.
That car directly behind me has collected 11 bodies of civilians today, and their grim task is far from over yet. Each time they come, they carefully place another body into a waiting black bag.
A policeman tears a small note from his notepad, stating where it was found. Even if he knows whose it is, he often doesn't know the name, places it inside the bag, seals it, and loads it onto the vehicle. Here are the evidences, one by one, of the war crimes committed by the Russians here. It's so sad. It is currently 7 in the morning. Following a long and grueling night of relentless shells and missile launches, we woke up, whoever was sleeping, to another bomb the retreating Russians are trying to extend. The positions in which the Ukrainian forces are located. You can hear the explosions in the background.
The Russians are fighting for money.
And we are fighting for our freedom and our lives and our homes. Victory to Ukraine.
What are you going to do today? I think we need to take the Bucha.
tough battle here. There was heavy artillery fire here, so I want you to be careful not to step on anything. Please don't touch anything because there is unexploded ammunition here. I am a Ukrainian Jew who served in the Israeli army and returned to live in my homeland in 2014. This guy came to denazify me. It will happen to every Russian soldier who steps on Ukrainian soil. No. There was probably a battle here between the Russian army and the Ukrainian army. This is Irpin, this is Bucha. The Russians shot from here towards there at the Ukrainians shot from there towards here.
Two civilians who seemingly tried to cross from one side to the other go through this path and were killed, murdered on the spot. Two simple civilians in the wrong place at the wrong time.
We need to halt here for just a moment.
We're in the middle of a massacre. Look at the endless row. I am walking carefully not to step on any fallen here. There are a lot of them. This thing has no end. Walking inside a battlefield. Combat zone. No film, no word, no director, no one can describe this. Maybe I will shut up. This is the craziest place I've ever seen. And you saw how many, didn't you?
Absolutely crazy.
What exactly is this? As if it were something made in a studio setting.
With the help of a computer, yet it definitely is not that.
It's just unbelievable that this is like right before our eyes. Insane, simply insane. There are no words to describe. What are you thinking when you are photographing this? A neighborhood of villas. Nothing is left here. It's simply unbelievable. So much destruction, so much death, for what?
We are located near St. Andrew's Church at the entrance to Bucha. This is where the grave of those brothers was found yesterday.
There are approximately 60 bodies of civilians found in this location.
Those bodies of civilians were found buried in this particular pit.
From children to the elderly, some with hands, in handcuffs.
And they murdered them. A mass grave of brothers, women, children, men. Simply the remnants and evidence that the Russians wanted the whole world not to see. But thanks to the bravery of the Ukrainian army and the fact that they drove the Russians out of here, now everyone sees. We are in the heart of Bucha. This is a residential building. This is a kindergarten. Here children were playing in the midst of peace and direct hit right here in the middle. We don't currently have data on how many were killed here, but many people did not survive this hell. Look, toys, clothes. No way. It's impossible to describe this thing. Ziv, who is now holding the camera, said crimes against humanity, and I told him this needs to be tomorrow's newspaper headline. It's crimes against humanity. I want to say thank you to all the women and men, for you are the weapon against the Russian propaganda. You are reporting the truth and you are fearless. All of us, Ukrainians, have great respect for you because you could have been somewhere else, but you chose to come here and report about what's happening here. Some of you have been killed, but this...
This does not stop you from your task. We will win. Victory for Ukraine.
Victory for Ukraine. Victory for Ukraine. Ziv Korn and Ronan Bergman from Kiev. Ziv Korn and Ronan Bergman from Kiev. Ziv Korn and Ronan Bergman on the road from Kiev to Chernihiv. Ziv Korn and Ronan Bergman from Irpin. Ziv Korn and Ronan Bergman from Irpin. Ziv Korn and Ronan Bergman from Irpin. Ziv Korn and Ronan Bergman leaving Irpin. Ziv Korn and Ronan Bergman from Vishneve. Ziv Korn and Ronan Bergman from Bucha. Ziv Korn and Ronan Bergman from Antonov Airport. Ziv Korn and Ronan Bergman from Kotsiubinska. Ziv Korn and Ronan Bergman from the front line at Tochna.